I don't spend my day from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep thinking about Star Wars and lore and all this. Like, I got other stuff going on. I actually have a life to live.
Yeah.
Go out and touch some grass, people. Get outside. Go take a walk. Go ride a bike or something.
So recently announced at a local fan convention, many people would call it a Star Wars convention, it was announced that Star Wars Theory would be one of the celebrity guests. And kind of shocking, there's been some major fallout with it. We're going to look at the fallout, what is being said, and what are our thoughts about that. We want to know what you think about it as well. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so this is the post, and if you're not aware, it is the ICCcon or the ICCC. I personally just refer to it as Icon. We have a channel meetup every time at the ICCcon. It is held by Michael Havens in Nashville, Tennessee. He is a great guy, does a great job with the convention. He's a friend to our channel, and we appreciate everything that the man has done. Well, this is what he posted just a couple days ago, ICC Part 7 in 2025. By the way, Nick and I have been going to the convention since the very, very first one.
Yeah, well, William Shatner.
William Shatner, exactly. So ICC Part 7 in 2025, and you see the man himself there, Star Wars Theory. Now, here's what Havens had to say. And then we're going to get into the response to it. No corporations, just fans. The ICCC is built on the ethos that all are welcome, and it has grown because of wonderful fans telling their friends about Icon. 2 weeks ago, Star Wars Gazer was talking on a podcast at the Massive Podcast at Star Wars Theory about our awesome convention. I've had the pleasure of talking with Nia a few times over the past few weeks about ICCC and what it is like going or growing a big presence in this community. We hit it off. He loves that the ICCC is all about family-friendly fans and the heart of true Star Wars fans and wants to help us grow. He has generously offered to talk about ICCC, get out a coupon code through his network, and come in person to meet his fans at the convention May 16th through 18th, 2025. So, Nick, we're only talking about less than 3 months away here. Now, the fans, and I was excited. And when I saw this post, a lot of our people here at EBN were like, yes, Star Wars Theory is going to be at the convention. That's awesome. I can't wait to meet him.
Which we told Michael years ago that he should try to get him.
2, 3, 4 years ago, we've talked with Michael and said, hey, you should try to get Star Wars Theory. That would be awesome. So, it's not that, hey, we agree with everything Star Wars Theory says, but we do agree with a whole lot of what he says. But, I was shocked, Nick, to see the response that we're going to have here. And I'm just going to read some of these and, I'm not saying go after these people. I'm not saying anything like that. Definitely, we're just talking about their point of view. But this person here. So I was trying to stay quiet here, but you keep saying that the IC is for everyone whenever people point out Star Wars Theory's role in sowing division within the fandom.
What?
That statement is entirely hypocritical and disrespectful to a large portion of the community who, up until this announcement, felt safe and comfortable at your convention. If the convention was truly for everyone, then your ethos would be to platform guests who share in that point of view. Star Wars Theory very clearly does not. His early stuff isn't problematic, but I implore you to watch any one of his videos since 2019. He is a hate monger, a bigot, a misogynist, whose content does little more than spark outrage within the fandom and embolden the very worst of the fandom. So that's one response. Yeah, that's one response right there. And it goes on and on. This person here says, great news if you're a straight white man with no empathy. Terrible news for the rest of us. He is one of, if not the leading voice of division in the fandom. Very disappointing choice. Speaks very poorly to the kinds of message the ICCC is comfortable being associated with. Think of the many actors and creators involved with Star Wars, along with the fellow fans who have become targets of bigoted and hateful attacks as a result of the inflammatory content he promotes and puts out there. So one thing that's happening here, Nick, and I went through here and read through this stuff like this right here. My brother in Christ harassing women isn't political. When has Star Wars Theory harassed women? And show me the receipt. Like, show me the evidence. All of these things that they are just, casually saying he did this, he did that. They're not offering any receipts at all. It's absolutely kind of wild. One person even commented an article that was the fallout between Star Wars Theory and Wikipedia. And the person saying, go read this article, Star Wars Theory is against women and said that women have no place in Star Wars. He has never said anything like that.
No.
Not to my knowledge. I read the article, and nowhere does it even get close to saying anything about Star Wars Theory and his opinion on women at all, much less
fake news.
They don't belong in Star Wars. He has not. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
So it's all fake news. And I got to be honest with you, seeing Michael Haven's replies, the man who runs the convention, he has handled this beautifully. And Michael has basically said, hey, if you have an issue with Star Wars Theory, I totally respect that. Don't go to his table. But as far as the things that you're saying that he has said, I don't see any of that. So send it to me. If you got evidence that he is this way, send it to me, and then I'll take it up from there. But there is none. Nick,
No.
It's just crazy that they're trying to cancel Star Wars Theory, the biggest YouTuber for Star Wars on the platform, literally somebody that Star Wars fans should be grateful to, because Star Wars Theory, one, kept Star Wars relevant in this space when Disney and Lucasfilm weren't for years. Yeah. He did a great job. So that's, I don't know, it's a very unfortunate circumstance. What are your thoughts about Star Wars Theory and this, outpouring of hate going on against him in the convention?
Well, let me start off by saying this. ICCcon is one of the best conventions I've ever gone to.
It's my favorite.
It's by far my favorite. I just went to MegaCon. I didn't even go to the con. I went to the con to get my after hours ticket, and that place was just massive. It was just herding the cattle in, herding the cattle into lines, herding the cattle out. It was insane. ICCcon is just so more intimate. You're walking around, getting to hang out and talk with these celebrities. Just even when they're not signing stuff, just walking around, so let me start off by saying that, and let me second that with saying my opinion in this matter is my own. This does not reflect ICCcon or Michael Havens or anything. This is my own opinion.
Yeah.
But these freaks and weirdos that are saying this stuff are insane. And I am calling them freaks and weirdos because they are pushing this fake narrative that is blatantly false not true at all, just because he might not like a certain show or movie or something that Disney Star Wars did that they did. A grown adult, mentally stable people will have a disagreement and be like, fair point. You don't like it. I'm into it. Let bygones be bygones. Go on about our day and be friends at the end of the day. These people are nuts.
Well, if they don't get their way, they lash out.
Yeah, and that is some leftist type woke crap that's been going on from that side for a long time, and we've gotten it
because of our opinion on something.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm still freaking fighting sickness. And I'm not on camera because I'm not at home. But we've dealt with that crap. And tons of our friends on YouTube in the space have dealt with that crap. It is... Yeah. It's ridiculous. And there's people that are, on theory about his theory sabers and basically being a drop shipper for
what?
Alibaba TXQ sabers from China.
Don't buy one.
yeah, then don't buy one. Who cares? That man's making money. He's doing his thing.
And he's
You know,
spending his own money making us movies.
yeah, yep. And so the, the needless, and they're like, oh, that's for everyone. But now I don't feel safe in my safe space over here. If
Yeah.
it's for everyone, that means it's for everyone, even
Yeah.
people that you might not agree with and like.
Yeah.
That means everyone.
Well, that's part of the problem, Nick, is that's the state Star Wars fandom is in. There's too many people that do not want to have the conversations. If you disagree with me at all, then you are a fake fan. You are a Star Wars normie. You are ABCD. You're part of the problem here, and people are just lashing out because of a difference in opinion, which is really, really kind of stupid. If you don't like Star Wars theory, great, don't go to his table. But I guarantee you, if Mark Hamill was announced to be going to the convention, these people would be loving it. Does he not sow division?
Oh, good God, yes.
Of
He
course he
is
does.
one of the worst.
Yeah.
One of the worst.
Here's a comment I want to bring up too that I think is a interesting comment. ICCC was one of my favorite cons. I agree. But then he says, sadly, this year the owner has decided to give free vendor space as well as announce as a guest Star Wars Theory. And here's what he says. Star Wars Theory was at one point a pretty cool person to watch on YouTube before he fell in with a podcast group called Geeks and Gamers and another Twitter group called the Fandom Menace. That's not a Twitter group. At this point, his content switched from fun theories about Star Wars to content raging about women, LGBT, and other minority representation in Star Wars, as well as women and minority fans. He led hateful rhetoric against Kelly Tran, Amanda Stenberg, Daisy Ridley, and other women actors. No, he didn't.
Wrong.
He didn't like their characters.
False. Yeah.
He never got personal against those people. He repeatedly complained about books geared towards women like the Padme trilogy. He said multiple times that women aren't Star Wars fans and has guests on his podcast say the same thing. They're misrepresenting what he's saying. He's saying that Star Wars fans, the biggest demographic, are males. Of course, there are women Star Wars fans. Star Wars Theory has thousands of female members of his channel. Don't you think he knows that there are female Star Wars fans? But in George Lucas's own words, Star Wars was made for little boys and their fathers. That's it. It's not that women can't enjoy it. My gosh.
There's women that like G.I. Joe and Transformers. You think that was made for girls? No.
It's not. You're not excluding anyone.
Yeah. Like, when was the last time Strawberry Shortcake or Cabbage Patch Kids or Barbie made an all kin or all male line or show or anything? Never. It's always the boy brands, which are some of the most popular. They got to twist and turn around and be like, oh, we're going to have more strong female characters in here. Like Leia wasn't enough. Like, she's a badass,
It's really a shame that Michael Havens has to put up and deal with this. But again, props to Havens because he's dealing with this beautifully, like a grown adult, saying, hey, show me the receipts, all good. If you don't want to come, I understand. If you do come, just don't be triggered by his presence. You don't have to go to his table. You don't have to go meet Star Wars Theory. But you know what? Here's the thing. This is a misrepresentation of reality. Yeah. I think that most of the fans will be excited that Star Wars Theory's there. Most of the fans are going to be like, yes, there's Theory. And here's the truth. Mark Hamill, I don't align with him politically. He does a lot of divisive things. He says a lot of things that I think are awful. Yeah. Mark Hamill is an individual that is full of hate. However, if he was at a convention, I would compartmentalize all that and look at him and be like, oh my gosh, there's Luke. I wouldn't be triggered to the point of, I can't believe the host or the owner of the convention is bringing him in. I'm boycotting, I'm banning, I'm not going. That's kind of ridiculous to me. So anyways, those are my thoughts, your final thoughts here. And most importantly, guys, I want you guys to share your thoughts. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. nobody should be trying to boycott. This cancel culture is over, guys. It is over. There's a new, not to get political, but there's a new administration running this country right now, and DEI is gone. Cancel culture is gone. All this stuff is going away. It was a failed experiment. People are not buying into it. People don't like it. People
Yeah,
don't agree with it. And enough is enough. Just stop. If you don't like somebody's opinion, just agree to disagree and go
exactly.
on about your day. It's not the end of the world. We're literally talking about a fictional movie and fictional characters. It's not real. It's not
Exactly.
real life.
Yeah.
There are way more important things. I don't spend my day in from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep thinking about Star Wars and lore and all this. Like, I got other stuff going on. I actually have a life to live.
Yeah.
Go out and touch some grass, people. Get outside, go take a walk, go ride a bike or something. Like, this nonsense is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, Havens is handling it well.
Yep.
If Coach was in there, he'd just be like, if you don't like it, bounce. So,
Bounce.
uh,
Exactly.
so,
Look,
so
and the
props to
ultimate
Havens.
the ultimate point here, I guess, is in closing is Star Wars Theory calls out Disney for giving us marginal to terrible Star Wars content. He
Terrible.
calls them out for it and gives his real opinion.
Yeah.
And there's a side of the fandom that cannot accept that. How dare you critique anything Lucasfilm does? Because it's all perfect. The Acolyte was great. And if you think The Acolyte was bad, then you are all of these names and you should be canceled. That's a very juvenile way of thinking.
Yeah, and we were actually part of the Fandom Menace, and nobody was complaining about us having our meetup there, Icon.
Yeah.
And we were posting about it and talking about Icon for leading up to our events there
Yeah.
for months in advance. So
Exactly. It's ICCcon, but we call it
call
Icon.
it Icon.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this. As always, you are Echo Base Network, the place where your opinion is respected and valued, even if it happens to be different than ours. You guys have a great day. And like Nick said, some of you go touch some of that grass. See you on the next one.
Peace.